What's going on, guys? Welcome to the Big Texas Outdoors Podcast. Today I'm going to be going over bore sighting a rifle and also installing the scope as well. Starting off, you have your rings apart. Got all my tools set out. Things you're going to need is a level, a torque wrench for your rings. Make sure you look up the specs on your rings. You don't want to over torque these things, and you're going to need a bore sight tool. Now, all this stuff can be found online or at your local sporting goods stores. Next, I'm gonna level the rifle in the. I have a tips and gun butler here, and it's been a lifesaver. And I'm gonna set the scope in the rings. Next, I'm gonna set my top level on the scope and get that leveled so that the scope is level with the gun, and then I'm going to look through and verify that the crosshairs are straight up and down. Now, the true bore sighting way is looking through the bore at a target about 25 yards out and then lining your scope up to where your bore is pointing. But it can be pretty tricky. You need to be pretty steady. Can't bump the rifle or anything like that. So they make tools that go on the end of the muzzle and align your scope up with that way, and that's the way I'm going to do it today. But now I'm going to torque the rings down, and with a little torque wrench, you'll know when they're torqued because you'll get a very distinct click from your wrench. So make sure that both sides are torqued on the front ring, and then move to the back ring and do the same thing. Now, this is my bore sighting tool. It's a BSA, and the inserts cover from 17 caliber up to 50 caliber and everything in between. So you'll be covered pretty much any way you want to go about it. Then you're going to put the insert on the bore sight tool and stick it in the end of the muzzle. This is where things get a little tricky because you want to make sure that it's lined up straight with your scope. It may take a little bit to adjust it, but just be patient, get it right, and things will go easy for you. Next, you want to take your scope and put it to 6 power, and then you want to pull your scope caps off so you can make your adjustments. Yeah, you're going to need to pull off both windage and elevation if they are covered. If they're exposed turrets, you're not going to have to worry about that. And looks like we're a little ways off, so I'm going to make my adjustments for my windage and make sure that it gets into the middle of your bore sight tool. It's got crosshairs on it too and a little grid in the middle. So get it lined up with that mark. Looks like we're a little bit crooked. And then we're going to adjust the elevation. And once we get it close, we're going to adjust our tool, get it straightened up, and then we are going to see if we're still right on the money. We were a little high on this, so I made the adjustment, and we are dead nuts now. So now all that's left to do is take this thing to the range and confirm 0. So your bore sight is bore sighting it at 100 yards. So 100 yards, you're going to be pretty darn close, but you still want to take it to the range and confirm that you are zeroed at 100 yards. Thank you guys for watching. Like and follow us on YouTube. We're on Facebook. We're on Instagram. We're on Twitter and TikTok. Follow us there. We have audio-only platforms on Apple and Spotify where we try to post weekly. So give us a follow there. Apple Podcasts and Spotify. Rate the show. Leave us a review. Let us know what you think. Thank you, guys.